Hello and welcome to part 8 of my Let's Play of Atelier Totori. When last we left, we did some questing in the area, and we did enough to rank up to our new bronze level. And with that out of the way, we can actually head back to Alanya's village and do some adventuring that way. And this time I'll be using a carriage just to save time a little bit. I have no real need to actually go on foot this time around. And before we go, we get all the new lands pop up from our rank up. I got a few more interesting areas to go and explore, but we have to wait until our next rank for some of the more, for a lot more of the enjoyable areas. But we got a few. And while here, we'll do our normal going around everywhere, making sure that we don't get any cutscenes, and pick up some fish from the never empty barrel. See what we got with quests. You see here we got another one of those no time limits. Again, these are the quests that you want to kind of save up for a while. But also, you need to make sure that you complete your 10 quests for this particular rank as well.
Is Totori still gone? Mom was the same. And Dad? Well, it doesn't really matter if he's here or not. I feel so alone. I'm home! What? No way! Totori? You're back? I'm home, Tetsuy! Sorry it took me such a long time to come back. Sorry doesn't cut it. Why don't you ever contact me? If you don't tell me you're coming, how can I cook up lots of food for you? Sorry, you can yell at me later. There's something I have to check. Hey, wait! What's her problem? Fine, I don't care then. Where's my container? There. There's less now. It matches the stuff I used over there. How does this thing work? Mel? Where'd she go? I thought she'd always be here. Did she...
And guess what happened next? A huge bear came out of nowhere!
Really? Aren't you exaggerating again?
It's true! I really wish you could have seen it. It got away from me, but imagine how much bear stew we could have made with it.
Oh, there she is. Mel. Well, that's too bad for you.
Hey, you don't believe me.
I'll believe if you bring me back its hide.
Fine. I'll get it next time, and I'll leave it on your doorstep.
Yeah. Plan your prank after you actually get this giant bear. They look like they're having fun. I shouldn't interfere.
And basically that cutscene was more or less a precursor to her quest. Or the ending for Melvia. Basically that's kind of what all these kind of side discussions are, kind of hints on the direction that you're going to need to take in order for that character ending. I'll address kind of the major points when we get to each of them. And here we have Wholesale, which is a ability that allows you to actually sell back your created items back to stores. Particular stores will buy back particular things. And what this allows you to do is say you created something of a high quality value, or things that require common materials like that oil does, and the yeast. You can sell it to you can sell it to the store, and then you can buy it back. Basically it'll be reproduced. You only see one here because not any time has really passed since I sold it to him, but give it a couple of days, the stock will go up to 10 or 9 or whatever it is. So you can actually continue to purchase that high quality item from the stores instead of having to rely on your ingredients to craft the high level stuff or commonly used stuff or whatnot. Again, like that oil, you know, that the ingredients for the oil used in a lot of other recipes. So it's kind of a good way to reduce the need to get to have to farm for items and such. Now, before we do any big time adventuring into the new areas, we're going to take the opportunity to do a few more things. First up, always remember to save, and don't be afraid to create multiple save files. Yeah, so before we go and actually do some of the new areas, we'll use this opportunity to progress Gino's storyline a little bit here and progress him up a little bit up in levels. Basically, you don't want to get him over level 25. Your friendships, you want everyone at 60, and the more you use them, it'll get to 60, so that's kind of another thing, but that's pretty easy to do. But you really don't want his level to go over 25. That's kind of like the point of no return for the character ending. You want to keep it below that. And on the way to 25, you do get some of his storyline, if you will. And this is just the first part of it. That's kind of what stinks about the whole Atelier series a little bit. Is, you know, if you go too far with one character or not, it kind of ruins your chances for the endings and stuff like that. It's kind of annoying a bit, especially with no real in-game cue to know when you've gone too far or you haven't gone far enough. It's a bit confusing in that regard. But, you know, as long as you keep them under 25 for now, you'll be in good shape. Don't worry so much early on, like if you want to keep them at 18 or something like that. Later on in the game, you're going to be introduced to plenty higher level areas that you can fight and level them up pretty fast. Remember, you get XP even if he dies or falls in battle, so you can quickly get him to 25 in the end, so don't really worry too much about that. You do want to get some of these side stuff out of the way, though. And one other little important thing to worry about with Gino is if you don't start his story, like if you don't start this point before Totori gets at a certain level higher than Gino, Gino will go off and pout, and then he'll come back at a higher level, and it can't be at over 25. So that's something that you kind of want to keep an eye on. You know, keep him low, start his story, and then pretty much dump him. You can kind of use this as a guide, if you will, to kind of know where to go, but just be wary that if you do party with Gino and you're such a higher level than he is, that's going to make things a little bit difficult in keeping things within feasible reach for getting the true ending or his ending.
There they are!
Leave it to me! I didn't even warm up yet.
So now that we kicked that off, we can actually continue on our way without him. So we boot him back out. You don't have the automatic you don't have that automatic no turn back deal with Malvia, and I'm pretty sure you don't have it with Mimi either. I mean, if you do have it with Mimi, it's much further in the game, near the end, so you don't have to worry about those two too much outside of their character level, and we'll get to that in a couple of minutes here, or later on in this part. And then we get more. This is kind of, it's not an important discussion, but it does kind of lead into Melvia's end, or ending, or her story, which really isn't that bad of a story at the end of the day. Both her and actually Mimi's is probably one of my favorites, but that's also kind of the other bummer about all these different endings. I actually find that both in Verona and in Totori that the true ending, quote unquote, is nowhere near as good as some of the other side endings. But what can you do? And then we'll quickly take care of the birds. And the reason why I didn't do it when Gino was around was because, again, I'm at a higher level than he is, and I did not want to risk kicking that off.
That was way too easy.
We'll go into one of the new areas. This one has no mobs in it. It's just used to gather some stuff. Some high quality stuff nonetheless. But it's just a gathering hole. the Mandragora, which we'll be getting here quest here. This is a tricky one. You don't want to accept that one if you're going to be doing stuff in the Arland area. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think that you actually have a close by location where the Mandragorias appear quite yet. So you could get in a bit of a timing trouble if you accept that in the Arland area. There's one semi-close to Alanya, so it's pretty safe to do here. But just kind of be a little wary on that. Same thing with those coastal penguins. We got the Arland area actually got a place that has them, but that wasn't until our second, or it wasn't until like the second or third rank. I forget, whatever it was. Our second rank, I believe. So if you're doing that first rank in the Arland area, you want to stay away from those penguins because you're not going to be able to make it down to Alanya village to fight them in time. So it's just things like that you kind of have to take into an account. It's really challenging for a first-time player to know where things are going to be after you rank up or whatever, as far as questing goes. Thankfully, questing is a bit more forgiving in this game than it is in Rorona. But it is something to always, think about before you just randomly accept stuff. Here we go. Basically, we're showing off a bit more skills here than normal, just due to the sheer amount of baddies on the screen. And what stinks is one of the characteristics of Mimi is that initially at the start of the battle, she's always pretty much an option to do that second attack after you. The problem is you pretty much are always 100% guaranteed that she's going to attack a mob that will hurt her vertical attack or whatever. It's always going to either mess that up or attack someone that would be in that line if you're going to cast it. It's always going to happen that way. I don't know why.
What should I do? Hooray! I won!
Filthy little things.
It's time to end this!
And since I don't have gear her high, so I can't exactly spam that attack that she has, or would have made things a little bit easier, but unfortunately I didn't play in my first go, so I completely forgot about it. She does have, I believe she does have a higher than default, but it's about 2 or 3 levels down from the best. And that's kind of an example there of the different types of ingots and cloth and stuff like that. That's definitely a step better, or step in the right direction compared to Rorona, where you kind of have to use the higher quality ingredients and stuff like that in order to get the different types of metals and cloth. Here, they're actually separate recipes. And basically what that is this adventure trainer thing. You're going to get that after that discussion that you had with Gino. It's the first thing that you're going to have to turn in to him in order to continue kind of his quest deal. It's not a difficult thing to do, but we'll get to it in a moment. One kind of the trademark for the series is always getting interrupted while you're trying to do stuff by cutscenes and whatnot. It does get kind of annoying.
Come in.
Excuse me. I heard you can perform alchemy syntheses here.
This is an alchemy workshop, but...
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought someone with a really scary face.
Scary face?
Wait, no. That's not what I meant. I mean, dangerous. Or angry.
It's even more depressing when you try to talk your way out of it. Unfortunately for me, I'm used to it.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot to thank you for saving me the other day.
Save you? Did I?
Back when I first went to Arland, a monster attacked my carriage.
I'm sorry, but I don't remember. Such things happen on a daily basis.
Oh, really? Totori, what's wrong? I heard you scream. Ah! Who is this scary person? Setsi, no, he's... You must be an evil kidnapper. You're probably after Totori because she's so adorable. I won't let you. Stop! He's my guest. I don't care if he's a guest. You won't lay a finger on her as long as... Wait. A guest? Yeah. Setsi, you're being a big jerk. Jerk? You're the one who screamed. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your face is so stern and serious. I'm not used to that in this village. I don't know what came over me.
I'm used to hearing those things, but it hurts even more when it comes in such constant waves.
Oh. Anyway, can you go, Setsi? Sure. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry.
It's all right. Even your teacher is still afraid of my face at times.
My teacher? Oh, that's right. You know my teacher, Rorona. I heard that from Cordelia.
Oh? Is that who you heard it from?
Yes. She called you Stir something.
Sturkenberg. You can just call me Sturk.
Sturk. My name is Totori. Pleased to meet you.
I was thinking I could talk to you regarding that, but I'll leave for now.
What? Already? Are you mad at me for...
I'm not mad. I didn't have much time to begin with. This brings back memories. It's like when I first met your teacher.
Oh.
I'll come back at a later date. I would prefer you don't scream at the sight of my face then.
I'll be really careful. Sturk looks really nice when he smiles.
And with that, we have the ability to do friend requests. Now, what this is every now and then, when you're doing alchemy work, the people in the area that you're doing the work in, such as like Gino or Melvia if you're in Alanya, or Mimi and everyone else that's in Arland, they'll come in and request a particular item from you. It'll always be an item that you have, and what that'll do is that will increase the friend level for that character. In order to do the ending thing, you're going to want to keep all of your friend levels at 60. Now, they will defaultly get to 60 if you're just traveling around with them. It won't ever go automatically over 60, but it will get to 60. So you don't want to do any quests or anything for the character that gets them over that amount. So with the exception of potentially 2 characters, you don't have to worry about their friendship level stuff. Just make sure you travel around enough to get to 16. You should have plenty of time to do that. The 2 exceptions, like for instance, Sturkir as an example, you would want to do something for because you're not going to be able to actually go and adventure with them until later on, late in the game or later on in the game. So you may not have enough time to get him to 60, especially if he's starting at 0. So that is an exception. Now, just because you gave them an item, it doesn't mean it's that item plus 60. Even if you do stuff for them or turn in quest for them, it'll stop at 60 if you're going out and adventuring with them. So you don't have that worry. Just make sure when they get close to 60, like 55 or so, or 50, 55, that you don't do any quests for them because you don't want it to get over 60. And with that, that'll end this section of this playthrough. Thanks for watching, as always, and God bless.